Lovely. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome on in. Tuesday, the 9th of December. Start with the long to short ratio, and I'll just X the top traders because they're not really, doesn't really mean anything. Definitely still in some sort of downtrend since the 21st of November when we hit 80%. I mean, 80% is as high as I've ever seen it. So in that sense, long to short ratio is still looking quite good. But on the other hand, we haven't really broken below 60% longs in the market and stayed there. So, still relatively more longs in the market, actually quite a lot. We're sitting at about 67%, so quite a lot of longs in the market in this downtrend, and yeah, that still hasn't changed. Botmaster, how's everyone's bots doing? The FET printer is the highest 30-day winning streak, which is quite nice to see. I might have to dunk my toes in that, and yeah, it's also performed the second best out of the 90-day period. So yeah, I'd recommend probably looking into those guys, and yeah, also the PAX G one is definitely good to just have. I've got 1, 2, 3 different PAX G bots to try as well, so that's going pretty well. And last but not least, again, we're at this volume node. This is going to be heavy resistance. I mean, we've got heavy resistance all the way up to pretty much 94k on Bitcoin. Quite simple. Break 89k. We're probably going to go down to 86 maybe. And there's a few orders down at the bottom beneath 86, 80. Well, actually all the way at 84k. So back from the weekend structure that we've already retested. So potential that we could sweep some of this stuff, 84, 83. But don't want to see any closes definitely below 84.6. And the loss of 89 takes you basically back down to 86. So anyway, looking fine, still in the range. Really nothing to say. We're in the range. We're in the range. Sorry, I don't even remember the range song, man. Discord, please. There we go. Right. Link me some Botmaster, good sirs. Think I might have some time today to set it up, etc. Being busy as fuck. I've got a killer bot running on ETH at the moment. So yeah, Botmaster is actually quite easy to set up. I watched the video, which is slightly less than 20 minutes. It's about 18 minutes. If you don't know how to set them up, they're actually quite easy to set up. And I've got the cake bot running. Obviously, you gotta want a PAX G bot for like just a long-term swing on one of your accounts. You can pretty much do that on anything. And then yeah, it's really up to your discretion what kind of bots you want to run. I mean, FET's pretty good. It looks pretty good. And yeah. Question about Botmaster. Can I set my own settings or am I restricted to the blueprints? I am not 100% sure, but I think you can change the settings. If you copy the blueprint into your trading view, I'm sure you could tweak them a little bit if you want. But yeah, probably Zeus and Adrian will know for sure. I'm assuming you can tweak them to yourself if you know what you're doing. But anyway, Bitcoin, yeah, really no change since yesterday. Still in this range. Yearly open, want to break that. Go see 100k. Don't really want to break below sort of like 84k on a daily close. Then it starts to look a little bit sketchy. But we do have some liquidations all the way pretty much down to 82. And then there's obviously some stuff that we could do beneath at 79 and potentially like 76. Not out of the question, just in the increase in shorts. The increase in longs in this area. We haven't really seen a flip in the long to shorts yet. So still a possibility there, but I'm leaning more slightly towards 100k still. But yeah, just nothing. I'm probably going to catch some longs, 86k and below. And then if we do potentially get back up to the yearly open and don't close above on the daily, I'll hedge a short. Something like that, potentially hedge a short. Something like this, potentially hedge a long. Really, we're just on the midpoint right now. which is the December. Just a nice little range. So nothing really else to say from that. It's just going to be the same since yesterday's till we do something significant or till a trade shows itself. ETH Bitcoin looking really good. Had a really good daily close yesterday. This is great. After that test of the December level and the previous weekly open, we've closed above this resistance, which was a weekly swing from all the way back in end of November last year. I believe it's weekly swing. Yes. So looking really good on ETH Bitcoin. Actually, probably going to go and test the yearly open and then probably farm out some like large structure, sort of sideways, before maybe potentially breaking up towards the highs for one little alt run. I wouldn't really expect too much past here, too much past 0.04, but obviously it is possible. Looking good though, love it. Yeah, PAC's just going sideways. Bitcoin DOM going sideways, actually slightly breaking down, which is nice to see off the weekly open. You don't want to gain this December weekly open on Bitcoin DOM to see alts obviously run. ETH looking fine, looking okay. Let's just delete all this stuff. Yep, ETH looking okay. This is probably better off going there somewhere. I'll just leave it there. Yep, getting above all of its support. Got an untested level down here at 2.8. Definitely could come back for it, but I feel like the SR here now is pretty much in between just the weekly open in December. This whole block, lose this, you obviously test the lows and potentially all the way back down into 2.5. Hold that, you're probably going to squeeze up into the yearly open and hopefully you want to see like just a squeeze and a gain. But yeah, again, similar sort of story with Bitcoin is just I might hedge a short on the yearly open, depending on the long short ratio at that time. But yeah, it's all looking relatively okay at this moment in time. We are having a little bit of a cross on ETH and some cash flow coming out. But again, this is all support until broken. Happy days. Solana, yep, still on the lows. Actually getting a bearish cross on the daily, which is quite interesting. Tested everything to the downside on the daily, so tested here. New close above. Doesn't look too bad. Actually doesn't look too bad. I would say that there's potentially a trade that actually has already played out here. Well, is in the process of playing out. It would have been on this touch here. I would say, again, you could, if you're a scalper, definitely you could punt along of this weekly open, aiming for the resistance up here at 142. The reason I say that is because there's a really, really easy invalidation. It's obviously just lose this low. And you're probably going to come down. You'll probably come down into Q2. But other than that, again, range bound. Area to short, area to long. Simples. Apart from that, pretty much only got my eye on Sui at the moment. Filecoin's obviously going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Hype, still waiting for 25. I'm going to start potentially buying in between 27 and 24, I think. I think it's a good area. I'm obviously not going to Hail Mary my whole capital in, but I'm probably going to accumulate a little bit around the yearly open. I think it's a good shout. And even so, when we did that big 10-10 dump, the wick only went down towards $20. So I feel like 24, 25, not too bad. Again, 20, another target down here if we do get down there. Yeah. Luna, what's going on with Luna? Seems to be up on the day. Interesting. Very interesting 4-hour close. It's trying to close above Q3 and Q4. Don't know what's going on. Probably something like Do Kwon's been let out of prison. But yeah, not too interested. Arve again kind of seems to be step laddering out. Yeah. Again, I'd probably be looking at something like this on Arve if I really wanted to long this. Yeah. Just somewhere in that support, which it's not support actually. Just probably somewhere in here, which has been tested. So December still hasn't been tested on Arve, so I'm still thinking that this could come down a little bit lower, where if you lose the weekly open, there could be a decent scalp short just down to December. However, I probably won't be taking that just because I'm not really in and out of the market too much these days. Well, this month actually. Well, actually I have, to be honest, at the start. But anyway, yeah. Still looking range bound for that. And last but not least, Sui. Still waiting for this. Sui actually doesn't look too bad. I would have loved for this to have tested the December level and then regained this, and now we're just going flat. It actually looks quite good. But again, always possible to come down and test this low at 135, which is untested. I'll be gig along if that happens. 140, 135. That's a good area. But apart from that, no real new changes since yesterday. I feel like the market is kind of holding its breath for the rate decision tomorrow. And yeah, I probably won't be doing that much trading today and tomorrow unless we get something like this. If that happens into the rate decision, I'll probably long. Again, if we do some gains, there's a potential long there as well, especially because there'll be a tight stop. It'll probably be like, for example, something like, okay, that's not even that tight. It's 4% down to that low. Yeah, it's just a bit sketch. But yeah, Ada's, wow. Wowza. $99 a month. It's sort of hard to find that buy page, lads. I was like, where the fuck? Yeah, we're still ironing out the creases on that sort of front. But yeah, apart from that, I am interested in alts, but they are not looking the best at this moment in time. So I'd like to hear what you guys are sort of, what would you like to accumulate in Spore? What's your kind of coin that you're trying to leverage the most at this moment in time? Like, for example, me, Injective, I haven't traded this at all recently because it just looked obviously very bad, but potentially I will have a swing around this low. Around the lows that we did from literally the 1st of December, I'll probably have a swing on quite a lot of things. Maybe not Injective because it looks a bit bad, but for example, like AVAX has already done it. So if this is the consolidation, it actually kind of looks like a bear flag, to be honest, and that it's about to drop and do a new low. But if this were to like peak above, retest, it's probably going to go and make a new high. And if it does close above here, or even just above here, that will be low, high, higher low, higher high, and then yeah, we'll just be pumping our way up. But that would have been a great. So, for example, having orders on this 1st to 2nd area would have been hit literally across here. You probably would be in quite a decent position just with a stop somewhere here. But anyway, that's the sort of general gist of my sort of thoughts or plans at the moment. I'm not really trying to go a bit too gung-ho at this moment in time. But again, there are some interesting concepts, some interesting sort of things happening. Like even near on this local is definitely still a downtrend, but we did close a new high above there, and this technically is a higher low. So if this can somehow just hold this weekly open and pump above December, it's probably going to be looking like some sort of bottom. Yeah. Yeah. Right now it just looks kind of like a triangle. Only accumulating hype. All other shitcoins can die. Fair enough. Be good to allow people to find it easier. Okay. Yeah, I'll relay that. I'll just say it's a little bit difficult to find. I'm looking at Asta and Virtual. Damn, I haven't looked at Asta in ages. Yeah, I mean, you're on the level to hold. It's the level to hold, otherwise there's probably not much in the way until Q3 November at 70 cents. Not sure if I see this free falling that much, but this is for sure the level to hold. Now, I wouldn't long this, but that has been tested. So, you know, if you lose this weekly open, it's going to be really bad. But there's potential that you could try and long the bottom of this 4-hour bullish engulfing candle. And then if that were to hold on the first tap, you need to see a gain in the daily open and probably a new high. If not, you're probably going to just make a new low. Potentially down to A3 or A4. But it looks quite interesting. So this low's already tested. That high's already tested. Tested. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Virtuals or virtual? Virtual. Okay, I've already got some Stubers. Let's put that a bit higher. Yeah, this looks fine. This is good. I would say that's obviously the low that you don't want to lose. That's the big low. Fair value gap's been filled. Whoops, that's wrong. Fair value gap's been filled. Probably right just here. Yeah. Had to cross all the way back here. Not too bad. Virtual's looking quite good, especially on the daily time frame. I'd say, you know, you're still in this sort of uncomfortable downtrend sort of area where you've bearishly retested Q4 and made a new low. Have you made a new low? Yep, you made a new low. So you're still in this sort of like downtrendy area. But I'd say if you're going to get some reversal, it's probably going to happen either here or you'll get like one more and then something like that. Looks good. I like that. Yeah. Virtual seems to do this thing where like it obviously just runs up. Oh, that's a really bad pull, but obviously just runs up. It takes a really long time to like break down. It obviously does this. Okay. It finally like takes everything and then it does the run up. And it does just like this is like a smaller version of that. It'll do like one dump and then it will regain and it will have a really big run up and then do the same thing. Can someone activate my trading account? Got a month sub to Tesla bot. Prabby, you want to speak? Yeah? I was about to let you in. Someone activate, put it in the support chat and tag Mike C. He'll do that for you. He'll probably do that today as well. Or if you haven't, if this is Botmaster specific, you need to go to the setup page in Botmaster. It's exactly the same as the one that you did with the indicators, but it will just be for Botmaster so you can get the role and you get access to the channels and stuff. Done that. Okay. At Mike C in the support chat, please. Trading with conviction. Hey Jack, brother, how about QNT? Can we have a quick look? I'm longing now, average 85, 81. Looking for 109. What's your take? So QNT did have quite a lot of hype. I believe it was this cycle or last cycle. I can't remember. Let's not get market cap. Let's get the full chart. Yeah, and I've heard a lot about Quant just being a relatively good project, but I've never bought or owned any myself. So first of all, I would say that obviously this is going to be your swing low. And this is going to be your high for now because this is heavy resistance. Now we've tested it once, which is nice. That's really good. I would say that you're probably looking for some sort of local stuber from this move, from this low and this new high, because we broke some stuff over here. And if then we come back down and we hold in between here, you want to see basically a new high. You want to see this closed above or closed into at least some closes like into like December, and then basically to like farm out some ascending structure into this, because this is really, really heavy resistance. I can't even see the numbers, but I know it's probably quite a lot because it's overlapping as well. And then you just want to sort of like build something out. But I would say that for the time being, you're probably just range bound like a lot of other coins in between, you know, these sort of like lows down here. I mean, I'll probably just put the box there and it'll be like these highs up here. And I would say that this is probably not going to break out anytime soon, although it definitely has potential to, as we have tested this really nicely now. So if we do come back into the December, say we come back down here, hold, come back in, there's probably quite a good chance that we could, you know, do something quite sexy up to the high. If not, we'll probably come back down and maybe like higher, lower. But it looks quite good to at least ascending triangle or something out of here. Again, if you lose that low, it's all wrecked. But this is all like proper, like all-time low stuff down here. If I just go to the weekly, it's actually not. I actually lied. It's not. But anyway, I might just put that line on here. Bash. Just a cheeky little range. Definitely some change in behavior from this recent rip, though. I quite like that. Let's go to the 4 hour quickly and just be like, okay, local stuff here. Potentially a little bounce trade off that, but locally you've broken down since pretty much here. Bearish retest. Off a cliff, yeah, it's not too bad. Again, I think just jog your brain and just be like, we're range bound. This is the midpoint. This is obviously the high. This is the low. It's pretty much the same on any altcoin at this moment in time. You could even short this back down to the midpoint, but you kind of missed it. It was kind of here. This is where you probably wanted to short. But yeah, not too bad. I'd probably say that if you do get back into the December yearly open, you're probably looking at some big TPs, even if you do have a good chance of breaking it. But looks interesting. Looks interesting for sure. Okay, done that. Nice. Interesting though, for sure. This has a lot of bearish divergence coming in on the retail stablecoin demand, which kind of means that, you know, we could actually see this come back up, retest the high, do a lower high, and then actually start a bit of a downtrend back into like the lows. Interesting. Definitely some interesting coins there. So Quant Virtual, probably keep some tabs on those. And yeah. Again, Link looks quite good. It's definitely above this sort of stuff here. You can quite clearly see the resistance flip on the 4 hour. Flipping the resistance. But yeah. Range bound until further notice. I'm going to stop my recording there.